We just build all like kind of like a wall, and this is like coming, whatever happened, it's just like bigger and bigger and just like keeping here there. And this is like what I always experience in my work, that most people have their heart is closed. They don't really know. They're so disconnected, and they would really love to connect again, because it's already very, inside. Very important to keep this practice during the day. Just like even few seconds, like listening to sounds, maybe the fingertips, like for me was the biggest change when I started to think from my heart and really to perceive from my heart, from this inner wisdom. And because all negative emotions, including stress, are a result of our these negatives and thoughts.
The coming episode is with Daliborka Neumann. She's born amidst the chaos of the Yugoslavic civil war. Daliborka fled to Germany at the age of 17, facing challenges but persevering through various hospitality jobs to finance her education. However, feeling unfulfilled in the corporate world, she found solace in yoga and meditation, sparking a transformative journey of inner healing. With unwavering trust in life's journey, Daliborka moved to Bali in 2019. Despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, she decided to stay and invested in a community project near Ubud. Through her own journey of overcoming adversity and embracing self-discovery, Daliborka exemplifies the transformative power of resilience, courage, and the pursuit of one's true purpose. Today, Daliborka is a beacon of inspiration as a transformation and spiritual life coach, yoga and meditation teacher, guiding others to uncover their true selves and follow their hearts. Enjoy the episode. Maybe just one thing. If you enjoy the conversation, please give it a like at the end or follow our channel. It would help us a lot to invite more interesting guests and to talk about more interesting topics. Thank you very much, and here's the conversation. Welcome in the Awake Insights, Daliborka.
Hello, Hank. Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Tell me, heart awakening, what is that exactly?
Yeah, that happened to me 2015. At that time, I really didn't know that it's heart awakening. It was a spontaneous experience where I felt so much warmth and love in my chest. And I had like a feeling I have so much love that I will explode inside my heart. And tears started running through my face. And I was so touched by this experience. And then, since then, I started to see hearts everywhere, and something started shifting inside myself. And it's really brought so much inner freedom, forgiveness, self-love, this unconditional love, this kind of connection which I always was thinking about. What is there outside? What is there that we are all connected with this universe, or with this, our individual soul connected with this universal soul. And this was like the big first step on my transformational journey, and still guiding me, my heart, on my journey.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the experience. Yeah.
Is that like a one event that just happens all of a sudden, or is that something that is like building up based on different kind of events? And how does it feel, and how does it change you?
Yeah, as it depends. I mean, the most people experience in different ways. This was my experience, because through this intense practicing of yoga and meditation, I could go really deeper and feel always more inside myself, that there is something moving, that there is something want to be discovered and really want to be lived. And this is what happened to me. And of course, it's one experience, but I had it also later during Vipassana, like during 10 days intense meditation again. And it's just like really start of this kind of unconditional love, and finding really this inner freedom, this inner wisdom in our heart, which is always kind of that you're guided, like when the mind is dropping into the heart, that this mind, which is always sabotaging us, that we are not into that anymore, because our mind is our best friend, but it can be also our worst enemy. So I realized this with the time, how for me was the biggest change when I started to think from my heart and really to perceive from my heart, from this inner wisdom. And because all negative emotions, including stress, are a result of our these negatives and thoughts and feeling, this result of self-sabotage, really.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, this really changed a lot in my life.
Yeah, yeah. And is it through the yoga and the meditation that you felt the heart awakening, or is it something that you start practicing more after the heart awakening?
I would say this happens really through this intense meditation and yoga practice, because I mean in Yoga Sutra they say that the yoga is the it's like connection of the consciousness in the heart, and this is really what I experienced. So this is really
Mm.
like which you can really feel it more and more as long as you're practicing regularly. So
Mm,
you're
okay.
always more connected to yourself, and you're always perceived totally differently in your daily life, in your relationships, and all different things. And there is also one institute in the US, maybe you heard about it, this Heart Mat. It's really like institute which they're really doing a lot of science work about heart intelligence and heart wisdom, and they really
Mm-hmm.
everything science based, how our heart, yeah, you can measure all these kind of things, how our heart is rate, how it's totally different when we in this kind of love, when we in this kind of compassion feeling and forgiveness, and really and totally different, and we are stressed and we are doing this and we are not, we are disconnected.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like they say this would change the world if each person would every day just breathe a few times into the breath,
yeah, yeah,
into
yeah.
the heart. So just
Mm,
to feel this connection through the day. And it's so, so powerful. And it's really
mm,
changing everything when and this is like what change another thing on the next level, to really realize that we need this kind of mindfulness during the day. This is was for me the next step. So not it's not enough just meditating in the morning. It's okay for maybe 2-3 hours and we feel good and we can deal with some challenges in life, but later after 2-3 hours this disappeared. So
mm.
it's and something happened and something triggered us, we again like, oh, in this kind of stress, or maybe with some other people fighting or somewhere else. So it's very, very important to keep this practice during the day,
Yeah,
just like even few seconds, like listening to sounds, maybe the fingertips, like do these repetitions, or feeling the breath, or just feeling into the heart. So it's just like every hour, like kind of few
yeah.
seconds of these mindfulness exercises. Yeah.
Yeah, almost everybody that I'm having in the podcast is recommending this. And there are like
Yeah.
many different ways to do that. It's like you say,
Yes.
focusing on the present moment. It's focusing on your breathing. It's even doing different breathing exercises,
Mm.
trying to go from the mind more into the body. You
Yeah.
say then going into the heart. So there are different practices, different
Yes.
modalities, and different ways of doing that.
Yeah.
It has all to do, I
Yeah.
think, with being more conscious and like, yeah, be in the present moment, and guiding your attention to your body and other things
Mm.
than being in the business of daily life and the stress and the things that you have to do the rest of the day, the rest of the week, and things
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, it's more
Yeah.
about
This.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And this was a thing that totally changed a lot of things with myself, because in the past I was always in some long loops of some, I don't know, negative thoughts and feelings. I was always longer time there. I couldn't go out.
Yeah.
And through this, I call it, it is like a program there, positive intelligence, which they are really science based also things. We have emotional intelligence and we have also this positive intelligence. So you do this, they call it like PQ reps, which you do this repetition. It's like 7 week app based training. And
Mm-hmm.
this really changed a lot, because there is a lot of basic knowledge there which you can listen, and then you're guided every day through different topics to really connect to this inner wisdom, like
Mm-hmm.
sage. And this was really for me game changing, because then I can always go back to my inner wisdom and something happened. And I didn't stay so long time anymore in this loops, never ending loops.
Yeah.
So this helped me just like go out and just say, hey, because all this, what was also interesting for me, everything is just lies, like what is sabotage mind telling me, all
Yeah.
these things. That's not me. It's just like my mind is just trying to sabotaging me. And
Mm-hmm.
when I realized, wow, this is not me, so real me, and that
It's
changed everything.
the
Yeah,
voices in your head, the
yeah,
voices in everyone's
uh,
heads, actually, that, yeah, coming from, yeah, some say it's coming from the ego, is the ego that is speaking. Others
yeah,
say it's, yeah, just voices
yeah,
that exactly want to sabotage you, as what you say. the coming out of fear and control and things like
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
it's a matter of, I don't know if we should not listen to them. In a way, I think maybe we should listen, but not following them or something.
Yes. Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
It's good to listen to them and just to be there, and
yeah.
not to push them away. It's
No,
also not
exactly.
good. It's
That's
just
never
like,
good to push things
when you're
away, right?
meditating,
Yeah,
no, just observing them and thinking, okay, that's not
yeah.
me, and that's not my, because in all these spiritual practices, we all know that we are not our thoughts and not our feeling, and also not this body. It's of course not easy to understand at the beginning, but it's really like that, and that helps so much. And how the most people are stressed, and I think this is true what is happening there. So this is really in my, want to love to spread this even more, how powerful it is to connect more with our heart, with this heart wisdom, with this sage which is always there. It's just
Yeah.
always there, it cannot be lost. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Does that mean actually that most of our hearts are sleeping? You call it heart awakening. So
Yeah.
then I would say like, yeah.
Yeah, because we made, through our experience, through our life, childhood, so many conditioning and so many traumas which all people experience, negativity, disappointment and everything. We just build all like kind of big, how you call it in English, like big shelf, or how you call it,
Yeah,
around
a
our, like a
harness or
wall.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a wall. And this is like coming, whatever happened, it's just like bigger and bigger and just like keeping here, there. And this is like what I always experience in my work, that most people have their heart is closed. They don't really know. They're so just disconnected, and they would really love to connect again, because it's already inside of us.
Yeah.
When we are starting this kind of, that we want to change something in our life, in this transformational journey, then we know this. Each person knows this inside of them, and it's just not, we are not aware of it. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
but it's coming slowly when we are starting working on this. Yeah.
You mean that everybody has
Especially,
it inside of them, but they are not aware of it. But then they also don't know
yeah,
it
yes.
actually, right?
Yeah. And that's why we are suffering. We're
Yeah.
just suffering because we're just closing ourselves with all these events which is happening in our life, with our family or whatever relationships, or I don't know. So we're
Yeah.
just creating more suffering.
So exactly. So we know that we
Yeah.
are suffering. We
Yes.
know that we are experiencing certain, yeah, bad feelings, or that there are some issues, but you cannot really comprehend where it's coming from and what is actually the cause of it. Is that what?
Yeah. Yes. And also all these things which happened to us in the past. We are not aware that this is like the kind of,
That this is the root cause of
yeah,
everything.
sorry, yeah, thanks, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a root cause for all our suffering, especially like forgiveness is like the key for happiness.
Yeah.
If we cannot forgive first to ourselves and then to others, and this is so common, that we cannot forgive for some things. Of course, there are so many really difficult things which happen to us and not nice things, but we just need to learn to forgive for our peace, not for other people. It's just for our peace. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your story. I mentioned it already in the introduction. Yeah, your the survival in the Civil War, and then you moved to Bali, and then yeah, it's a whole journey, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably where
Yeah, it
everything
was a
comes
long
from.
journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, probably I would never be here if I probably needed to be like this, that I left alone without my family. I had some relatives in Germany at that time, where I stayed for 1 year, and then later I was on my own. And of course, it was very, very hard. I didn't know, I couldn't speak any German, so it was totally new, everything for me. But there was inside of me something, this kind of power, that I wanted to learn it. So I started really very intense course and
At what
starting going
age
to
was that?
school.
At what age
At
was that?
17.
That was at
17.
17. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So I was totally on my own, and started also working a little bit in some restaurant and this kind of jobs. And yeah, to finance my school and study later. So I was really always working. I didn't really know what was a weekend at that time. So it was challenging, but still, like I said, everything happened for a reason. I really realized this in my life, that everything, there's always gift and there's always chance in each challenge which happened in our life. I'm so grateful for everything. each challenge. And then, yeah, like you said at the beginning, I was always feeling lost. I don't know. I was never fulfilled with all these jobs and everything what I was doing. I mean, I
Mm.
had a good life. Later, I was living in Switzerland 6 years before I came to Bali. But there was always something missing. There was
Mm.
always something. And I felt it in my heart with the time. Like in 2010, I started with yoga and meditation just out of because I was a bit depressed at the time, and yoga saved me. Really, that was my a kind of healing journey, which I could just slowly. I saw so many different things which happened to me, just like how my body changed, how my mind changed, and
Mm.
wow, what the wisdom is behind this yoga philosophy. And yeah, so that was really slowly this kind of progressing. And then in 2015 was this heart awakening that was like a big first kind of step into this, even more opening myself.
Yeah.
And then in 2017 I took a sabbatical and I was traveling for almost 5 months. In also was in Bali in India, and I did this vipassana 10 days, very intense meditation,
Mm.
like almost 11 hours every day. And there was another thing happened to me, and I realized, wow, how powerful we are, how powerful our body is. This meditation was really so intense. It's body is so itching the whole time. You're sitting so long time and everything. And my mind was okay so far, but my body was really, really so challenging to sit so long time.
Yeah.
But what was the most important thing which happened to me after these 10 days? I just went for a massage to relax myself after this, and I didn't have any pain in my body. I was so soft like a butter. I couldn't believe it.
Mm.
And it was unbelievable experience for me. Wow, how we can really meditate away all this negativity which is saved in our body, because they
Yeah.
say all the challenges and all negativity and trauma which we experience during our life is saved somewhere in our body.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of stiffness, from working in the office, and the shoulders and neck and back. So this was everything away. I couldn't believe it. It was just like another thing. Wow, what can come just out of us, out of nothing, without any drugs or about any things,
Mm.
and just like how powerful we are. What a wisdom is inside of us.
And that happened all these
And
10 days, what you say?
yeah, after these 10 days, yeah, and
Mm.
during these 10 days, I had a kind again like opening of the heart again, because they say you should try to meditate 1 hour without moving. So I made it 2 times, and in these 2 times, something really happened. This kind of yeah, nibbana they call it. It's just like kind of samadhi that you really experience, and it's really like was like something break into my heart again. It was really like wow, it was really opening, and it was such a nice experience again, like another level. Or yeah, especially the softness of my body after that. That was
Mm.
just so powerful experience.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and after I came back from this journey after 5 months in my office, the first day, I was asking myself, what I'm doing here? Really, I was really starting to think about it. It
And you were
cannot
still
be
living in
everything.
Germany. You were still living in Germany,
No,
right? Yeah.
no, that was in Switzerland at the time. I moved
Okay.
to Switzerland 2013, 14 because of one job. And yeah, and then 2017, like I said, when I came back, everything started in my mind, really like, "Oh, wow, what should I do now?" And that time, I would never think that I will leave everything, that I will go on some traveling.
Mm.
But it was really starting in my mind. I was thinking, but yeah, but I don't want to just teach yoga and have a studio. I wanted to be free. That was really inside. I feeling like this kind of be free and independent, and just yeah, do whatever I want, and not to be stuck in one place.
Yeah.
So that was really challenging few months. And then in 2018, I came to Bali for holiday and was visiting here Bali Spirit Festival,
Yeah.
and was also volunteering. But the whole time, also during this journey in 2017, I felt again in my heart something wants to come out. I don't know. I cannot explain it. It was such a big, I don't know, feeling, such intense feeling in my heart that something wants to open again. And there was everywhere these hearts again, and love, and everywhere was when I pulled the card or somewhere it was always love and follow your passion and hearts. I said, oh my gosh, what is all these things telling me?
Yeah.
And then for the first time, I tried breath work out, and it was also a very intense experience. And I wanted to travel further a little bit about Bali. And then I saw that they're offering also 2-day workshop. And I'm so grateful that I went there, because this really changed my life,
Mm-hmm.
this experience through breath work. In one session, I saw myself in the future. I saw my future self really shining, beautiful, laughing. And in that moment, I realized, wow, this is the true Daliborka. This is really true me. And I got such a trust. It was really kind of, I don't know, it was really like connection from the universe. So I don't know. I felt it so strong and got me such a courage
Yeah.
to really and especially I saw myself living somewhere where it's warm, I have summer clothes and I'm barefoot. And I in that moment I decided, okay, now it's enough. I will quit everything and I want to find this place. I want to find it. I want to go traveling.
Okay.
So, and since then, I was really like a guided. I came back home and knew immediately I don't want to wear these clothes anymore. I didn't want to wear anymore black and brown and all these, business clothes and shoes.
Yeah.
I wanted to be barefoot. I had a feeling like a bit of butterfly, like so free.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and since then, really, this was kind of another experience of wow, how powerful we are.
Yeah.
Wow, how this can happen. And this is like what my heart was predicting already, like in this session happened. My heart predicted it already where but I'm living somewhere where it's warm and it's literally true.
Mm.
I'm now there. So
Yeah.
that's
It's
why I really decided,
yeah.
yeah,
No. Yeah.
to
It's
follow my heart. Yeah.
it sounds like a big journey in self discovery. Like doing all this kind of practices, learning a lot about yourself, seeing the world in a
Yeah.
different way and everything, and then yeah, making big decisions in your life. Yeah, moving Germany, Switzerland to Bali. I'm wondering actually, what impact did it have in your relationships, in your connections, and what is your connection with your parents, for example, and your family and your friends? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Of course, with the time, they also saw that I was changing, that I was not, that I was doing so many different things, and it changed really a lot. Especially with my brother, I was always had a challenge with my brother, who has also a challenge in his life. He was also during the war there. For him was even more hard than for me because he was really part of the war. And so, yeah, we didn't have a good connection at the time. And with the time, like after this heart opening, like the first one, which happened in 2015, it made me, like I said, so soft and this experiencing more about the self love and forgiveness. So, and then I realized only when I change myself, the other person can change. I can try and change nobody, but the situation can change. And this is what happened. And then I also came across this Hawaiian forgiveness ritual. Maybe you heard about Ho'oponopono, which
Mm.
is really, really very interesting. It's just like 4 sentences, and I couldn't believe it that you just can think about the person and just repeat it. This person doesn't even don't need to know, and it's just
Hmm.
like, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love
Yeah.
you, and thank you." This is yeah, and I couldn't believe it at the time. I was even had a talk with one man who wrote a book about this Ho'oponopono, and I talked to him and said, "Wow, this is so easy. It's just so
Yeah, it
simple." And
is.
he said, "Yes, it is. Try it out."
It
And
is.
this helped me really to totally change the relationship to my brother. That was really my learning of forgiveness.
Yeah.
And
Very
yeah, so
powerful.
this was one big powerful, and also with the time also changed a lot of connections also with my friend. Maybe where I was a little bit struggle, I could always use this Ho'oponopono or just really connect again and to be present more in my heart and not just sabotaging again through my mind. Like this is
Yeah.
everything. My mind is everything. And
Mm.
so, yeah, of course, my parents still don't really understand what I'm doing here, and they would love to have me more closer. But yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm always during the summer. I'm in Europe and visiting them there, and also like to
Yeah.
spend time. But yeah, I had a good relationship with them. Yeah, I could never, even if I have sometimes small challenges with my mom or with someone, but we could never go sleeping without talking about that. So it's always
Hmm.
like it was always in our family like that, and I like it. I could not be like for a long time without speaking or just it's not possible. So
Yeah.
I like that. It's just like need to be clear. Then I mean, we all make mistakes, and nobody's
Mm.
perfect and just to and I mean my parents, especially my mom, didn't have also nice life like in childhood,
Yeah.
so I can understand what she experienced, so
Yeah.
much
Yeah. Yeah.
suffering also. So yeah, and
Do
she
you?
did her best too, like
Yeah. We learned to understand afterwards, actually, that yeah, our parents had also their own issues, and that probably they transmuted, I think is the right word. I'm not sure. They passed, this way better, they passed certain traumas maybe to you.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
mostly very unconsciously in a way. So do you also feel that
Mm.
you got a lot of trauma from your parents in combination with the
Uh,
circumstances that you were living in, I guess? So because we started
yeah,
talking about the age of 17, but I think there's a big uh, time in your life that is much more important, and it's like before the age of 17, of like from
yes,
0 to
yeah,
age of 17.
yes,
Do you remember a lot of
yeah.
that, and can you share a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, yeah, there is a big thing I think which is also was always in my during my this healing journey, which it was to be ashamed. I was always a little bit ashamed, and I was
You know,
also
for
working
what?
on this with my like to
Shame
be ashamed.
for what? Yeah, you
Yeah,
know why?
yeah, man. It is. I realized that when I was a child, that I was a third child. So I was like, especially for my father. I don't know how you call it in English. This kind of word when your father like you, then like the third child, but still in a totally other connection with my father than other kids.
Yeah,
So
I don't know it in English, but yeah, I understand.
yeah, okay. So yeah, and I think maybe I was a little bit too much into it. So when I was not heard and seen, I was just like disconnected. Then I turn and just be on my own, or I felt ashamed, like when I was not when I didn't become what I wanted, probably like a child. Maybe I was at the time 4 or 5 or 6 or something. So this was always through my life that I then didn't want to show myself, like this kind of, especially in the social media or somehow, or to
Mm.
even be here. I couldn't think about this like 10 years ago to do the podcast or to talk about this because I was always ashamed of my story. I don't know. I always had this feeling, okay, I am the refugee, in Germany, you're like a foreigner. And I had also a lot of trouble also there with mobbing and to be the foreigner there. But I'm still very, very grateful that Germany, yeah, had this possibility or opportunity
Mm.
that I could live there and
Yeah.
to give me better life. But it was always I was always hiding myself because
Mm.
of this. And then especially when you come new to the country, you cannot speak German, and then you're ashamed to talk because it's not good the language, you're not speaking well. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
always something where I hide myself, even with my name. Nobody could spell my name, and I was always also hiding with my name. And they started
Mm.
shortening my name, and I also didn't like it. And with the time, I realized how much power is this in my name, and I was also told not to shorten my name because there's so much power into this Daliborka, and it's really like that. And since I like it, and also other people like it, and they can spell it or just even remember the name because it's totally different energy there.
Mm.
Not like before when you're hiding yourself and when you're ashamed of the name or your story or of the experiences. So yeah, this is one thing which is always was like in my life. Of course, it's still there. A lot of things we can just weaken them, but they're always there. But I can
Yeah,
increase my inner wisdom. I can increase my connecting more to my true self.
yeah,
This is only also it's not mean. It's just happening to me, but it's not real mean. It's just like
yeah,
all the conditioning, which it is our survival brain, which these things doing and saying something again in this negativity and sabotaging us. Yeah,
yeah. So you discovered actually over the years that it was a kind of a pattern actually, that there was always something to be
yeah,
ashamed of. That's why I actually
mm,
understand out of what you just explained
yes,
me. Um,
yeah,
okay, that's interesting, and I'm sure that yeah, some people that are listening that can resonate with that as well. What are good practices, or what would you recommend people to do that feeling this kind of shame, maybe already for their whole life, to overcome that? What would be the first thing that they could do?
Um, the first thing which helped me to really do what I like, to really following this joy, so that I can be more myself. So this helped me a lot. At that time I was running marathon. I was doing so many different things which helped me really to feel my body, to be in my body. I always love it. These different exercises with my body, and this is nice. Like even dancing or shaking, because we everything is so much things stuck in the body. Like I said before, which I could release through this vipassana meditation. So and this is like holding us, like it's just like like again, this covering over the heart, like the next one, the next one, the next trauma and challenge is just
Little
like stepping
layers,
there,
yeah.
and it's like layers. So it's also just important to work on these layers. Okay, what is holding me back, or why is this and this, and why I'm triggered here? So really to do this also shadow work, and yeah, really take maybe a coach or mentor who can guide you and help you on this journey of self healing or whatever it is. We all have different topics. We all have different experiences. But the most of us experience trauma. I think each of us need healing. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's interesting you talk about these different kind of layers. So it's like an onion, right? So you're unpeeling the
mm,
onion, and then you go to the roots of it, like what's this
yeah.
deepness inside. How how long is this journey, and when is um, when do you feel like, okay, I'm making progress here. I'm changing.
Mm,
I feel lighter. I can release. Um, I become more conscious about what decisions I make in my life. What is good for me. What is not good for
mm.
me. Can you explain a little bit more how that journey looks like, and when do you see the first results of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's first to say it's never ending journey. This journey is like we can always evolve more, we can create more, we can change. So there is like these layers. I think will never stop. But the most important thing for me, which I realize, it's getting easier. I'm not so stuck anymore in this kind of some old patterns which happen. I can forgive much easier. I can change some challenges much easier. I surrender more. I trust in life because I know everything happening for a reason. This has helped me much just to experience this, because when I look back, each challenge was exactly what it should be. It was just there that we can learn, and what helped me also in this kind of spiritually view that our soul decided to come here with these challenges. This
Mm,
all everything is they decided to have these parents and to have these challenges and to have all this kind of life that I can evolve, that I can grow, and that I can fulfill my soul purpose. So everything makes sense. This helps me also to know that all the challenges which I gave to us, we can go through them. This has also helped me a lot. Really, that's so powerful. We even don't know how powerful we are.
so
And
you
the next thing, yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
you
and
you you mean that the path was already laid out for you? Is that what you say?
yeah, yeah, I would say that. I would say that. I mean, there is no time. There's no, there's no time. Everything is already there in our future. It's already there. We just need to walk towards this future which we want to live. Because when we start trusting, when we surrender, can totally recommend the book Surrender Experiment. It's really amazing book which helped me also a lot. It's a true
Mm-hmm.
story about one guy. He's also meditating a lot.
I read
And
it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So this is really like how's life happening? Really,
Yeah.
when we really connect more, when we really trust into this, what everything is happening, when we are not fighting about this, what's happening, just ask,
Mm,
hey, what the life want to tell me with this? What
yeah.
can I learn from this? So you start asking different questions. You are not just stuck in this kind of, oh, why's happening this to me and why? You just start to ask another question. This is really game changing also. So
Yeah.
just like, who can help me? Where are the people? What can I change? How can I just go out of the box? Like about this.
Mm,
Where are the other possibilities? Because often we are just stuck in this small reality island which we have, and then we don't see the other things. And there's so many things,
yeah.
possibilities. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the practice of letting go and trusting what's already there, and trusting the universe is what they say.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, stop controlling
Yeah. It's really
everything
like that. Yeah.
in your life.
Yeah. Stop
I
controlling.
think
Yeah.
it's mostly about that.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah, because life is always for us there. Life is always supporting us, even if we don't see. But if we see only the negative, then it will be like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like really this kind of how we see the life every day. Where is our energy going? Where's the focus going? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So the trusting of the universe and the letting go of the things made you decide actually to move to Bali and to say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna step out of this corporate world. I don't want to do this
mm,
anymore. I'm going to move to Bali and I'm going on my or further on my spiritual journey.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, I didn't know that I will go to Bali. So I decided I will go for traveling and really find this place. At that time, I knew that I won't come back. It was for me so clear that I won't come back and then I just want to go traveling for, I don't know. And at the beginning, I wanted to go to India first because later I had one job in Sri Lanka. I got one job to teach a yoga in one resort. So that's why I wanted to start there. But later, one friend was asking me, hey, and she's going to Bali and doing some here yoga further education. If you want to join, it's a nice yoga training. And I said, oh, okay, cool. We can share the room, she said, and then everything. So that's why I decided to come to Bali first. I wanted to go also later. But yeah, you never know where it's happened is. So I wanted to stay here 6 months and then go further to India and Sri Lanka. And then during the COVID, yeah, I stayed in here. And yeah, I like it so much that I decided, wow, that's really nice. Yeah, the energy, the people, the culture, this especially spiritual energy, there's so many offerings here every day, so much flowers and these humble people really in this religion here. It's so, so amazing. The energy is the whole time so high. And it's just like I realize how easy it is to manifest things here. It's like because the energy is so high, it's just like this is also something which happened to me since I'm here that I really learned how to manifest things which I want. It's getting so fast.
So you didn't know beforehand what you were going to do in Bali? Because yeah, it's like a big step, right? You cut your job, you stop your job. So you stop
Yeah,
your source of income. And I guess you saved something actually to take this
yeah,
journey. So
yeah,
and you come into Bali or you move actually with this uncertainty. Okay, what's next? What I'm going to do next? Actually, is it like
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I wanted to. I mean, I was already finishing my coaching training at the time, and I was thinking, okay, let's arrive here first, few months, do yoga and so many different things, and then later I can start my online coaching program or starting to prepare everything. And then through Corona, of course, everything started then earlier. But the another thing happened to me, which was a big, big challenge. Just 2 days after I arrived here, 2019. So I left everything. Can you imagine? I didn't have any more my flat and job. And of course, I had a savings. But I got really disc prolapse and it was so, so painful in my lower back, especially in the right leg, that I had so much pain. So everything which I was planned, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do any yoga. I couldn't go anywhere. I was just really at home. And of course, I went also to hospital to check what is it, but I didn't really know. And I said, okay, they gave me so a lot of medicine, which really just stoned me if I wasn't drug, and it was also not like a solution. But then the life brought me to so many other different healers here and things, and I met so many amazing people who helped me a lot. And then I realized with the time I started slowly doing different exercises and practices, and I was researching about what can I do because my right leg was like I couldn't move it really. It was totally without feeling, especially my foot,
Yeah.
and really a lot of pain. And then with the time, at the end, really I healed myself. It was I never went to doctor again. I didn't made any MRI or something and anything. So it was just really interesting thing, which I was told here in Bali, you can do also palm leaf reading, which I'm also working with, helping also clients if they want to experience more about it's like Balinese calendar. And the woman is also channeling. And I went to her at the time. It's just 2 weeks after this happened. And it was so, so interesting what she told me. So many things which I already knew, or just she confirmed me on the spiritual journey. And she told me, yeah, this big challenge is just there that you can realize that you can heal yourself. I
Is that
said,
someone
wow,
local?
that's really amazing.
Was that a local
Yes,
person?
it's a
Yeah.
local. Yeah, it's a local person. And this was really interesting thing because I was also learning healing, spiritual healing, and later here also Reiki. I don't focus so much on it. If people want to have it, I do it because my teacher also told me that I have really healing hands and that I should use them. I think that will come. Let's see. I'm just surrendering there what's going. And so this helped me a lot to realize, wow. So at the end, really, I healed myself and I'm here. I can do now whatever I want. I'm healed. And just another thing which just proved me how powerful we are and how we can
Yeah.
heal ourselves,
Yeah.
even on this kind of thing. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah.
Do you have actually a lot of local healers in Bali? I'm not so
Oh yes.
aware of that.
Oh
Yeah,
yes. Oh,
a
lot of healer.
lot.
I think
Okay.
every small village has a healer. Yeah, this is like
Oh,
kind of doctor
nice,
for them. Yeah,
nice.
they are amazing healers here.
And
Yeah.
do they always are
There's
they always open to collaborate with expats and people that move to Bali, or is there do they?
oh, depends. Yeah. Yeah, they want, sure.
Yeah,
Depends what they are doing.
but
Yeah, I
it's not a
met
common
one
it's not a
here when I
common
was
thing.
I mean depends. What do you mean with collaborate? Like this palm leaf reading or what do you mean?
Yeah, that's just one modality, but maybe other things as well, like hypnotherapy or other kind of modalities that maybe local healers are actually teaching and practicing. Maybe they develop certain kind of programs that expat people can follow and they can collaborate and open
Um
a healing center or things like that.
yeah, I know, but it's not like that. They're totally different approach. It's just that they don't learn healing. They got this like a gift. They
Mm-hmm.
experience this, I don't know, even maybe from the family or just they receive it like a gift from a god here, from the goddess which they have.
Mm.
And so that's why it's not that they're offering like their teachings or this, but you can always go to healer and have a healing session. Or
Mm.
yeah,
But if
it's
you
a
want to become
different,
a
yeah.
healer, you can learn it from them as well. Or they don't really teach that.
Yeah, yes, there are some. I met here one who is also offering that, but then there are not so many, or I didn't meet them.
Okay.
So it's not like that they have a program where you go and have like I don't know a class with 10 people. It's a little bit different made. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just very
yeah,
curious about that, where that all comes from, because I can imagine like local heroes, they have like a huge history and they learned
yeah,
all of that through generations. While the coaches that we see today, they learn everything through their own experience, following courses, doing
yeah.
different
True.
modalities. And it's not that they
Mm,
learn over decades from parents, grandparents, and so on. So I'm very curious to know actually how that is similar, or like where they what is the base, where do they really come from. But I think it's as the basis, it all comes from energy, and it's like, yeah,
yeah.
like working with energies in the body.
Yes.
It's all about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I also met here one healer during this time when I was experiencing searching for another healers and modalities. There was one woman and she called this vibrational healing energy. And it was really unbelievable. She has like a electricity in her fingers. So it was when she
Mm.
starting massaging, it was like normal, and then suddenly it was like it was like it really like electricity in her fingers. And it was such a nice
Wow.
feeling to have this energy through the whole body. And I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, wow, where is the device here? But there was
Yeah.
nothing. There was just her fingers. Yeah, and she also told me that she suddenly got this, like this healing gift. She didn't have
Mm.
it. She was working in the bank, totally normal woman, and then suddenly she experienced this gift.
Mm.
So she
Wow.
started then working with this, and
Yeah.
she had a big altar, so grateful, full of candles and all these flowers and everything, like really worshiping and God and all these gifts which she got,
Yeah.
and that was really amazing experience. So yeah, I think
Mm.
this is real. This here totally different
Yeah.
than in the West.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
they become this, yeah,
Very interesting. Definitely.
yeah.
So yeah, and today you already explained it, that you moved to Bali and then you started developing a coaching program to helping other people based on what you have learned, your own experience.
Mm,
So I'm very curious, like, who are your clients you're working with, and yeah, what is for them the reason to come to you actually to start their healing journey?
mm. Yeah, the most is that the people really often they find me through I'm very active on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and mostly the clients find me there or they're following me. And maybe we had some contact, and then suddenly after 1 year, they contact me, oh, would love to have a discovery call with you. And it's really a lot about this because I'm very, of course, big inspiration for them, how I changed my life and how I came now living here and even investing here in this community and having my house is really my dream come true. And it was not easy, but I know how I did it. So I can help them to
Mm.
also to find this inner freedom, to find their soul purpose, to forgive, to really find their true self. And yeah, so it's mostly women, but I also work with men. So yeah, it's like all this kind of topic on this transformational journey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and especially of course also this heart wisdom, the heart opening, and really to heal our heart first, and to
Yeah.
to get rid of everything which is holding us back, like all these layers which we're talking before. Because in the down, in the middle, is like I always compare it with a beautiful diamond, which is shining and it's always there. And just like all this soil is there, and we just start slowly to uncover everything. And there's this beautiful shining light always there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, it's a time. It takes time to, and of course, if you have a coach on your side, it's easier to find these blind spots and to
Mm.
find what is holding you back, to find some things maybe from the childhood, and yeah, and to
Mm-hmm.
just get better guided on this journey.
Yeah. Yeah. And how does that look like? Oh, you have like weekly calls with them. It's one-on-one coaching, I assume.
Yes,
And
I have.
yeah.
Yeah. The mostly which I have is a 3-month program about heart transformation. So I guiding them through all these steps, really from where they are now, what is happening now in their life, and all on this way, really to experience this kind of love, which is always there, to through forgiveness, and what a vision do they have, and really to getting at the end into this manifestation, what they want to reach for them. Doesn't need to be that they need to go to another country or whatever I did, but there are so many beautiful visions which my client have, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy we could help them on their journey. So it is a 3 months program is, and of course they can choose if they want to work weekly, more intense, or maybe week every 2 weeks or every month. So it's everything possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have some other examples of clients that made some drastical decisions in their life and went from A to B through your coaching
Yeah.
program? Do you have some examples?
Yeah. There was one woman who was pretty on a similar path like I was. So stuck in this corporate job and not feel fulfilled and feeling that something is really missing or that something more can be there that she want to do. And yeah, and I really inspired her through this coaching to, she started yoga teacher training. And then with the time also she did some breath work and other things. So she's now, and she could change her job. She's still in corporate, but he is now in human resources. So he can really work different with people also, and
Yeah.
help them in another way. So this was really, really nice experience. And also another client who was never traveling so far away. She always wanted to go to Bali, and that's why she also found me like that. So I had this also coaching with her, and she visited me here in Bali. She was here, and it was also really, really nice. Yeah, to help the people to get courage, to get rid of everything what is holding us back, because we have only this one life. And
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
we really starting to get rid of this everything what is blocking us, and
Mm.
yeah, to follow the joy and to really live our true self, that's so
Mm.
powerful. And then so many things change. It's then
Yeah.
much, much easier to manifest other things when we just start to feel this power inside of us. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's an interesting example you give there, actually, because yeah, that person then decided actually to step out of the corporate world and then start to teach actually healing practices and what was it,
Mm.
yoga and
And yoga and
meditation
breath work. Yeah.
and breath work? Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. You see that more often that people are doing that because they
Mm.
and you are one example of that as well, because they experience the benefits of that and they start to develop that mission actually to also teach that to others, because you feel that everybody should learn this and everybody should do this, right?
Mm.
But I also, on the other hand, I think like, how can people integrate that in the life they're already in, or in the more traditional life, like you work
Mm.
maybe at a company.
Yeah.
Human resources is an example of that. So you can say, okay, yeah, now I know so much more about myself and the world around me, and now I'm going to integrate that in a human resources role and do that in a different kind of way. I would love to see more examples of that, and maybe there are a lot of examples of that.
Yeah.
Is that something that
Sure.
you sometimes think about, like the work that you do and the clients that you have? So how can they, what they learned through you, what they learned about themselves, how can they more integrate that in mainstream life, I would call it?
Yes, yeah, to in this corporate world. Of course,
It's
the
not
most
always
people
it's not
also
always corporate world, because you have also, yeah, a lot of entrepreneurs, local
sure,
entrepreneurs.
yeah.
Yeah, you have different. It's not all corporate, luckily.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the most people are in the corporate, which I know. I mean,
yeah,
my
true.
clients, the most are in the corporate world, or they are unfulfilled, or they want to find routines for them to really start in the day. So I helping them also learning meditating, doing really exercising and having a routine. It's so, so powerful. If you have a routine in the morning, if you start when with meditation and not just go out of the house without nothing and really to focus, hey, what is the intention for this day? What
Yeah,
I want to see that everything wonderful will happen today, and how can I learn with if I have some challenging situation today, I don't know, meeting with my boss or with my team or whatever it is, or maybe different things. So how can I already prepare myself for this situation, so
yeah.
it's a lot of so many beautiful tools what we can learn about these everyday challenges.
Hmm.
And this is again what has come back to this positive intelligence about this 7 week program, which I did and which helped people to also do it and to learn to connect more to this sage, to strengthen the sage and to weaken the saboteurs, because this is the all which all we have. And we all have these saboteurs, and then you can make also a saboteur test and you can see which are the dominant, and you then have the complice also of this biggest judge. This is the one which all we have, and it is the most powerful in all of us.
Hmm.
And just to be aware of all this, how our thoughts are so powerful. When we change thoughts, everything will change. And just to give them this on their way, to practice gratitude every day, to observe more self-them, to observe more thoughts, the feelings, to allow them to be there. And yeah, and so many other tools. Yeah, to
Mm.
just to live their life more easier and with more joy and more passion. And yeah,
Yeah, it's really learning actually to develop a new habit. Like 7 weeks
yes.
is probably a good time to develop a
Mm,
new habit. I think I don't.
yeah.
Yeah, is it actually 7 weeks? I don't know, like 60 days. Sometimes they say
I'd say
60,
like,
sometimes they say 90 days. So I
yeah, it
think,
depends.
yeah, it really depends on
It depends time.
what
It
you want
needs
to learn.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And of course, it's important also after the 7 weeks to keep it, let them on, to stay in
Mm,
this row and to stay this focus, like I said before, like at the beginning, to practice this mindfulness or mental training during the day.
mm.
And this app helped also. So you can finish the 7 weeks and you can stay there and you have always every day new focus, new information, and yeah, it's really great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that afterwards is probably also recommended to maybe you have a community, or maybe these people can become part of other communities that are
Yes.
working on this kind of topics. And then you can
Mm.
just continue, yeah, your journey, right? And you get support
Yeah.
also from other people. So
Mm.
I think that is something that I see developing more also in other cities. You don't have to be in Bali
Yeah.
actually for being in this
Yes.
kind of
True.
community. So you see it
Yeah.
in bigger, mostly bigger cities or capitals in different countries. That, yeah, these communities are expanding, which is a good thing,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of co-creation happening, and this is what we need. Alone, we cannot do so many things. We need this co-creation and to do with other people, and then
Mm.
it's much, much easier. I mean, we support each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, what's next for you? What's up? You were talking about the 7 weeks program. I think that's something pretty new, right?
Yes, I did this. There is this program for coaches being, which I did for 7 weeks, and now I'm doing this positive intelligence coach. You can do this certification and learn even deeper more. So I want to include this in my offering, so the people who are anyway doing this 3 months transformation, they can do this 7 week program during this app. It's app based training where they can learn about these saboteurs, everything, and how to connect more with inner wisdom, and how we can really switch, because we can it is like three mental muscles for happiness. They call it like that. It's so powerful. So you can really intercept the saboteur. You can have this self-command muscle, which you can grow every day. And then you have the sage, which you always giving more power to the sage and then weakening the saboteur voices and negative
Yeah.
thoughts and feelings and all these critics which we get in our voice. And this is improving everything. And this is for everyone, like for managers and for the housewives and for students and everyone. We have all negative thoughts and feelings. So it's really everyone can do it. And it's, especially it helped me a lot, like I said, how I was always long time in these loops of negative thoughts and feeling and couldn't get out, even if I was meditating every day.
Yeah.
But I was not aware how can I always connect with this inner wisdom in my heart. I knew it, I experienced this, but still this was like another level for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and how you find your way actually in this set of coaching? Yes, so many coaches out there, and every day there are
Yeah.
new coaches coming up. And so how do you experience that? How can you find your way there to be your unique self? And of course, the most uniqueness as a coach is being yourself. So how does that work for you? How do you attract clients to you? How can you find the right clients that you want to work with? That's interesting to know. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, of course, there are so many coaches, but each of us has their own story. And it's like me, I have my own story, which is also some kind of special. And if I keep my kind of the authenticity, how I'm really, really am, the right people will find me. I realize it with the time. Of course, like a coach, you always have this time up and down. When you're self-employed, it's different. I also realize with the time, if my energy decreased, I also cannot not attract clients. So how can I stay more in this balanced energy and to be in this, in this kind of feelings that everything is good how it is, even with the challenges, everything happening for a reason. So, like I said already before, people find me mostly through my postings or also in some Bali groups, like German speaking people who are looking for some tips or some spiritual things to do here. Because I offer here also in my house private healing retreats, so people can come to me. I have extra room, so I can be with them and have a yoga and meditation and coaching, going to the temple and do the spiritual purification here. So it's a beautiful also part, which I also love to do. And I'm offering also here workshops sometimes in Ubud and also online. So yeah, the people, there's always something happening, and they always, of course, I was also offering a yoga retreat in February this year.
Yeah.
And then in the September, I will have a also 14-day journey in my homeland to the pyramids and to power places there. We did it already last year. It was beautiful to be there and then to show all these beauties there and power places to other people. So yeah, I do
definitely.
different things and I love it. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's really great. And yeah, you can always invite the clients that you work with online to one place and then do a retreat. It's really amazing, I think.
Yes.
So that your clients you work with, they all can meet each other. I think it's really powerful.
Yeah. And with the time, you have your tribe, like you have your group where you can always announce your new events or new things. I have a newsletter and all these kind of things. So it's, it's just keeping people also on track and inspiring them, because I know how it is. I know how it is to be stuck and to not come out and just to really, this mind is, like I said, it's our best friend, but it can be also our worst enemy. So,
Yeah, totally. Yeah. No, yeah, you already mentioned it, so people can find you on social media. What is the main channel that you use the most, and your websites? We will share it in the comments, definitely. But
yeah, this is the I'm very active on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
You can share also this positive intelligence. I will send you the website where everywhere can read about this program and everything. And my website is still on German, but if somebody needs to know more, I can, of course, give more information. Yeah.
Yeah, or the browser can translate it, and
yes,
then they can
it's so easy nowadays.
schedule a call with you in English. So
yeah, of course, I'm working
will
also
not be
in
a
English.
problem.
No problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sure.
No, I really appreciate the work that you do. I can very relate to everything that we have discussed during this conversation, and it's really important. I wish that everybody could feel and experience actually all the things that you teach to your clients or students, or how you can call them. And I would like to thank you for this conversation, for being here. Maybe is there a last thing you want to share with the audience that we maybe haven't discussed or we haven't mentioned?
Last thing, really trust in yourself, trust in your path, and really listen more to your heart. Start meditating, or just find that you can be in stillness. Doesn't need to be sitting on the pillow. It just can be anywhere, and connect more with the nature. This is really so powerful. And then you can learn more yourself. You can go as a deep dive into yourself and what you really need, because this helped me a lot, really, and because I was disconnected from myself. And through this meditation, like different kind of embodiment, doesn't need to be yoga, maybe it can be qigong or other different things where you can really connect with yourself and with your breath. It's so powerful. And just never give up. Really, there's so many possibilities always there outside. So really listen to your heart. This changed everything for me.
Definitely good advice. And trust the process, right? Trust the process. That's a very important one for me. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much.
I hope very soon I will go back to Bali, and then maybe we can meet each other in real life. That would be great.
Yeah, sure. I'd love that. Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you, and see you around.